Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well, and of course Arnie does too. In today's video I will be focusing on threatened and endangered species in the UK. I personally find this topic very interesting, as the UK used to be a very different place. If you go back a couple of thousand years, the wildlife was a lot more diverse. European bears, wolves and lynx all used to call the UK home. Most of these large mammals are now extinct in the UK, mainly due down to hunting and habitat loss. There are around 67 million people living in the group of islands that make up the UK, and this means that a lot of parts of the UK are urbanised, which is unsuitable for the majority of our native animals. Away from the cities, around 70% of the land is used for farming, and this leaves only around 30% of the land for our woodland creatures. These factors have led to a massive decline in many of our native animals, and I'll be going through just a few of them today, as I'll be going through 5 threatened and endangered species in the UK. And to start off, we'll be heading up to Scotland, as we have the Scottish wildcat. This species was once widespread across Britain, but now can only be found in the Scottish Highlands. In these areas they are very elusive, and reported sightings are extremely rare. Many people confuse these wildcats with domesticated cats, but the Scottish wildcat is stockier, more muscular, and has longer, larger legs. In their natural habitat they mainly feed on small mammals, such as rabbits, mice and voles. Scottish wildcats don't like spending time in the open, and heavily rely on their highland forests for both food and shelter. Today the Scottish wildcat is listed as critically endangered in the UK, with there thought to be around 30 to 430 individuals left in the wild. One of the reasons behind their decline is the introduction of domesticated cats. This is not just because they compete with them for food, also because they hybridize. This hybridization dilutes the wildcat's genes, and the offspring lose the wildcat's distinctive features. These feral cats also bring diseases with them, which the wildcats are really not prepared for. The lack of suitable woodland is another problem that the wildcats are running into, as wildcats are solitary and territorial and demand a large area of woodland to survive. Many individuals also accidentally killed in traps meant for other species, and are also run down by cars. Because of their decline they are strictly protected, but many fear it's too late for this species. Although they may go extinct in the wild, there are many of them in captivity, and there are ongoing breeding programs, so even if they go extinct in the wild, at least we'll still see these beautiful cats in captivity. But for our next species we'll be heading to the UK's freshwater rivers, as we have the European Brook Lamprey. Lampreys are some of the most primitive and prehistoric fish still alive today, with them dating back at least 360 million years. Lampreys have garnered a pretty bad reputation. This is because species such as the sea lamprey are known to be parasitic and can have negative effects on game fish populations. Their blood-sucking habits have given them the nickname of the vampire fish, but this name can be very misleading when it comes to the brook lamprey. The brook lamprey only feeds in its larval form, filtering detritus and organic matter from the water. Once it transforms into an adult, its digestive functions stop, and it becomes unable to feed altogether. So if you see one of these guys swimming past your feet in a river, you really have nothing to fear. The brook lamprey is the smallest species of lamprey to be found in the UK, reaching a maximum size of around 25 centimeters. Brook lampreys tend to spawn in shallow clear water streams, and a few weeks after spawning the adults die. Although the brook lamprey is still widespread today, its numbers are declining over many parts of the UK. The main threats to this species are habitat loss and degradation, mainly caused by both pollution and the silting of rivers. This species needs rocky sandy areas to breed, so the silting of rivers could mean that they are unable to reproduce. Luckily for the brook lamprey they are also found in many other parts of Europe, so they still have very healthy populations in other parts of the world. But for our next species we'll be heading back up to Scotland, as we have the European pine marten. These small cat-sized predators were once widespread throughout the UK, but now limited to the northern parts of Wales and England, as well as Scotland and Northern Ireland. Pine martens got their name from their habitat, living mostly in woodland and spending most of their time in pine trees. In these areas they are prolific predators, mainly feeding on small mammals, berries, insects, birds and their eggs. They spend most of the day resting, either on branches or in birds' nests, before coming out at night to hunt. Although they are efficient hunters, they are not at the top of the food chain, as they're often preyed upon by foxes and they're attacked from the air by gold eagles. Today they are listed as critically endangered in the UK, but they're thought to be only a few thousand left. The main enemy of the pine marten is humans, as humans have contributed to a loss of their habitat, and they have previously been hunted to protect livestock. Today the pine martens are protected, and they play a very important role in helping another endangered species. As I've covered recently, there are 2 species of squirrel living in the UK, the native red squirrels and the invasive grey squirrels. Research has shown that red squirrels do a lot better in areas with pine martens, as they choose to prey on the larger grey squirrels, as they're both slower and easier to catch. And just like these red squirrels, one of their few remaining strongholds is in Scotland, and although they're in peril in the UK, luckily they can be found in many other parts of continental Europe. But for our next species we'll once again be heading to the freshwaters of the UK, as we have the European eel. This elusive and mysterious fish was once common in the UK, but is now experiencing witnessing serious declines. Adult European eels tend to be predatory, feeding on mollusk, crustaceans, insects, worms, and other fish. And on this diet they can reach a maximum size of around 1.5 meters or 4 foot 11 inches long. These eels were once frequently caught in the River Thames and were used to make eel pies and jellied eels. But today these eels are not just critically endangered in the UK, but are critically endangered worldwide. Part of the reason behind this is their strange life cycle. They start off their life near the island of Bermuda in the deep blue waters of the Sargasso Sea. After hatching they transform into transparent leaf-shaped larvae and ride on the Gulf Stream as it sweeps north. This journey lasts a year or two before they reach the shores of Europe and North Africa. They then change to form see-through miniature eels, and from there they move up rivers and mature. In the past 40 years the number of glass eels arriving into Europe has fallen by around 95%. Weirs dams and hydroelectric power are thought to be some of the reasons why. If these adult eels can't make it to their spawning grounds, then they are unable to reproduce, and this could result in the drop of glass eels. Climate change is thought to be another factor, as this may be shifting the track of the Gulf Stream, meaning that the glass eels never make it to the UK and North Africa. Even if more glass eels did make it back to the UK, they'd still have to face poor water conditions. The Thames used to be one of their strongholds, but pollution and sewage has left this river mainly uninhabitable. There are many conservation efforts to help these eels, and hopefully we'll see them bounce back in the future. Before our final species, we'll be heading up to the pine woods of Scotland, as we have the Capercaillie. This turkey-sized bird is the largest of the grouse species, and the males are very well known for their courtship display. During this display they make a variety of low and high-pitched sounds, some of which are inaudible to humans. This species shows extreme sexual dimorphism, as the males differ in colour and are also much larger. In their native habitat they normally feed on forest plants, such as grasses, berries, pines and buds. Today the Capercaillie is critically endangered in the UK, but it used to be a lot worse, as they became extinct in the 18th century following extensive felling of pinewood habitats. The Capercaillie was reintroduced into Scotland in the mid-19th century, but today it is still struggling, as their population is thought to be as low as 1,000, and it doesn't look to be increasing anytime soon. One of the main reasons behind their decline is habitat loss and increased predation from crows and foxes. Forest management is also a problem, as these birds have been known to die by flying into deer fences, and as this is such an iconic bird, it really would be a shame for it to disappear from the UK. But that's about it for this video. If you have any suggestions for other videos, then leave them down in the comments below. But thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these. But until next time, goodbye.